Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season 2 finale of the Creative Podcast. You guys are probably like, what the heck? This podcast is broken up into seasons. I made the executive decision halfway through this season to make this podcast into seasons. Why? Because I need breaks in between. I realize my little brain it can't handle doing this consecutively for a long stretch of time. So I decided to split it into seasons, and this is the 14th episode of the season. I'm deciding to do it in 14 episodes. Why? I don't know. It's just that's the number I landed on. So yeah, no opening line this week. The opening line literally is welcome to the season 2 finale. So yeah, I'm super excited to have gotten here. I've been doing this for about a year now. Obviously not as consistently as I would have hoped, but I have been doing much better this year. I'm very proud of myself for that. So yeah, I'm just going to give myself like a little 4-week break. So I'll see you guys back in November with a new episode, but I'm still going to be trying to engage more with y'all on socials, come up with more episode ideas, maybe pre-record a few of them, but most importantly, rest my creative brain. Okay. Also, we are so close to 800 listens. I think I checked it earlier and it was like 790 or something like that. Like, that's crazy that so many people have at least clicked on the podcast and like been interested in it. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, for clicking in, for stopping by, whatever the case may be. I appreciate literally any and every little ear that could listen to my voice, because I love talking with y'all. And yeah, more about me if you're new here. I'm Kayla. I'm the host of this podcast. All of my social medias are linked below, and you can rate and review this on Apple Podcast and Spotify, if you want, if you feel like it, if you're feeling a little generous today. I'm really looking forward to growing this little space of ours. And without further ado, let's get into the setting the scene, highs and lows, and this week's goals. Really me, I got ahead of myself and didn't even say what the title of this freaking episode is. I got too excited. The title of this episode is Fun Jobs You Can Romanticize in Your Teens and 20s. I was kind of inspired by someone else to do this episode because I have been jumping through a lot of hoops with this whole employment thing, okay? But we'll get into that later. So now we can jump into the rest of this episode. To set the scene for you all today, I am sitting in the closet again. I don't mean that figuratively. I mean that literally. I'm literally sitting in the dark in the closet. I've got a cute little pillow propped up, got a nice comfy blanket. It's very cozy vibes. It's actually 7:00 on the dot. So yeah, I'm recording this kind of late in the day on a Sunday. Yeah, I've just been lazing around today, finally posting on my platforms again. I've kind of been avoiding posting on Instagram and TikTok just because I don't know what's been going on with me. I've just been like out of it. But today I posted on literally all of my accounts, like both of my Instas, that's the podcast Instagram, and my personal one, and then both of my TikToks, that's like my like spammy TikTok, and then my little cutesy one, all of which are linked below. Hate to plug myself again, but we have to do these things. So yeah, I was supposed to go to the pool today and wash my hair earlier, but it's been a little bit rainy, so I just took it easy, and I'll probably wash my hair later tonight because honestly, nighttime hair washing is always a vibe. Like, I don't know, it's something different about just washing your hair like in the dark with a candle, it's nice. It's a vibe. So hopefully I will have enough energy to do so. Honestly, I've been so freaking sleepy and tired, probably because my period is on its way. And for us period havers, we get, well, I personally just get so tired for like a week. I'm just sleeping, taking naps daily. Naps are a must. So I did take a nice little nap today. But now I'm feeling a little bit more energized, and I am finally sitting down and recording this for you guys. Do I stick to the day that I say I'm going to record? Not all the time. I remember in the last episode, I was like, I'm going to try and record and post on Fridays. Did I do that this week? No, it's Sunday. So, hopefully in season 3, Kayla will get herself together. But I'm just happy that I'm sitting here recording this right now because my motivation has been on E. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. That's a good segue into my lows for the week. I decided to switch around the order in which I do my highs and lows. I usually would do my highs first and then my lows second, but I'm deciding to do the bad news first and then the good news last because I feel like I mostly have more good news than bad. And my good news, transitions into the actual thick part of the episode. So yeah, anyways, I had COVID. Oh my gosh, when was that? Time is non-existent for me right now, actually. I think that was last week. Yes, last week. No, this was 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, my brain. So almost immediately, no, actually, the day I recorded the last episode, I had COVID and I didn't even freaking know it. I just thought I was tired and I had a headache and blah, blah, blah. No, I had COVID. I have never had COVID before. That was my very first encounter with it. I am fully vaxxed, but I guess that means nothing nowadays. It really put me down for a good week. I was supposed to start work the week that I got it, and I didn't get to start work because obviously I had COVID, and I was exhausted, I couldn't really hold anything in my stomach. I'm not going to get too graphic with that, but you know what that means. I was on a regimen of antibiotics, rice, bread, soup, Gatorade, water, and ginger ale. That's all my life consisted of. And laying on the floor, trying to get rid of my fever, and shivering. It was just a lot. It was a lot. So yeah, I got through that. Thankfully, I am healthy and strong now, and I have gotten past it. I'm negative. We are good. But that was a horrible experience that I hope to never have again. Okay. Yeah. Stay safe out here. Keep your mask on. Don't be like me. I was being irresponsible. I definitely didn't wear my mask as much as I should have. So yeah. Mercury retrograde really put a beating on your girl. Really did. My car just was acting up. I had COVID. Just shit was hitting the fan, for lack of better words. Okay, it really was. It was a hard time for me. I was exhausted. Okay, the month of September was exhausting. It was not the best time in the world, but I'm so glad that it's over. I'm so glad it's October and we're moving on. I ended up stepping down from my position on the on the Black Student Union committee. Just because, one, I'm a commuter student. My school is FIU and it's 30-40 minutes from me. So when they would want me to show up for different events and stuff like that, it was kind of a struggle, especially during Mercury retrograde. It was a struggle to drive down there on these random odd days throughout the week. It would be a Thursday afternoon that they wanted me to show up for something, and I'm like, what the heck? It's not working. So I had to step down. I had to let go of that commitment. As much as I was excited to be a part of the marketing committee for Black Student Union, it's just not fitting in with my life right now, and maybe it will fit in next semester, hopefully. So yeah. Another low is sometimes I'm just letting my social anxiety get the best of me. Um, it's just certain instances in situations where I have to encounter like people I don't know, or like strangers, and like just awkward types of situations. In the past, mostly this year actually, I've been really pushing myself to like just get out of my comfort zone, just like get over it, breathe through it, and all of that. But recently I've just been like, I can't, like the energy that life is taking from me in other areas, like outside of socializing, is just like draining me. And it's like I don't even have energy to put into trying to like push past my social anxiety, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. Like, I'm just too freaking exhausted to fight my social anxiety all the time and be like, okay, we can do this, we can like today I was afraid to go into a social situation, and I was talking to myself for a good 10 minutes and pacing back and forth and just like trying to coach myself through it. And then I just ended up giving in. I was just like, I can't do this right now. I'm going to lay down. Like, it's just too much. So, if you're feeling the same way, like, don't beat yourself up about it, because we're trying our best out here, and we're not always gonna win the fight. It's an ongoing uphill battle with ourselves. So yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I'm just gonna continue to try my best and put forth the best mindset and like energy I can towards social situations. So yeah. Lastly, for my lows, my diet has been horrible, which is probably why I'm so tired. Like, I love how I'm a little bit shocked that I'm exhausted, but like at the same time, my diet has been absolute crap. I tried to get into salads 2 weeks ago again, and then I got COVID, and then my body could not digest salad. So yeah, my diet has been absolutely horrible. Like, too many starches, just too many fast foods, eating out. I'm not cooking anything for myself. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to survive. Like, today I had a granola bar and cake. That's what I ate today. That's what my diet consisted of. I'm going to try and get some actual food in my system, but we will see about that. Yesterday, what did I have yesterday? I had soup, a cookie, and popcorn and chips, and ice cream. I have the diet of a 5-year-old currently. I'm not really eating anything, so yeah, I really need to get back on that. Anyways, going into the highs, I celebrated my birthday. My birthday was on October 1st. It was not the way that I planned for it to go, because I was supposed to have a party, as you all know, with my friends, but that's okay. These things happen. Okay. COVID happened. Yes. I was coming out of my COVID stint on my birthday. So, yeah, it was not exactly as I had planned. I canceled my party just for the safety of my friends and everything like that. I didn't want to like risk being around people too soon, so I was just like, I'm gonna reschedule the party for another time. But I still had a great time. What'd I do on my birthday? I got dressed up all cute. I went and picked up a free sub from Firehouse Subs. I went and picked up my free Starbucks drink. And then my little boo thing, this little guy I'm seeing or whatever. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm being so inconspicuous, but that's just because I'm not ready to overshare too much about him right now. But like, I have to include this because he made my day super special. He bought me flowers and cake and a very nice gift. And we went to Olive Garden because I had been talking about going to Olive Garden for like a week. I just was craving Olive Garden. It was just, I don't know. But it was absolutely delicious. I ordered my first drink at a restaurant, like legally. Okay. Ooh, I overshare too much on this podcast. But yeah, what I get? I got like I got a berry mojito from Olive Garden. It was very delicious. I have to give it to them. And it was like $7. It wasn't even like too pricey or anything. It was delicious. So yeah, we ate. It was really nice. Had a really nice birthday evening. And then the next day, my mom did like a little picnic for me outside in the backyard, which was so cute. Okay, of course, I had my mask on. I was social distanced from all of them. But she made me like tacos and a margarita, and it was a good time. Okay, it was a good time. So yeah, wasn't exactly as I had planned, but I still had an amazing birthday weekend. And the celebrating, it's not over, okay? I'm celebrating my birthday through November, so, that's just how it goes in my life, okay? Libra season doesn't end until halfway through November. So yeah, I can finally purchase my own margaritas and drinks. I am so happy to report, okay? Funny enough, I haven't been ID'd yet. I've had a few drinks. I've ordered a margarita. I've gone to the liquor store to get a bottle of wine, and nobody has ID'd me yet. It's kind of pissing me off, not even gonna lie, because why do we even have the law in place in the United States that you have to be 21 to drink if nobody's going to ID you? What's the point? Could have been ordering drinks this whole time, but it's fine. It's fine. By the way, don't do that. Don't drink underage. I'm not endorsing that for legal purposes. Okay, next point. I started working as a barista at a local cafe. I trained for 2 days last week. It was really freaking fun. I'm not even gonna lie. Of course, I had a little mishaps and mess ups here and there. Who doesn't when they're learning a job? I've never been a barista before, so like all of this is totally new to me. But I'm pretty good at like memorizing some of the drinks and stuff, and I've really been like helping out, and yeah, it's been fun. But I'm not sure how long I'm gonna actually be able to do this because I'm considering getting another job already. So yeah, but working as a barista last week inspired me to make this episode, okay? That's where I got my little creative idea from, because I've been enjoying that job, and it's actually one of the only jobs I've really enjoyed. So yeah, I want to give you guys like a list of ideas and like places that you might want to work, because I know I wish I had someone to tell me places that I might have wanted to work, besides for like your plain Jane mall retail job or fast food at McDonald's, Okay, anyways, I'm not even done with my highs yet. This week I got all my homework done. Every single assignment completed, checked off, like every single one. I know you all are probably like, huh? Like this isn't a normal occurrence for you? No. Ever since the semester started, I have pretty much missed at least 1 or 2 assignments from all of my classes. Not all of my classes, but 1 or 2 assignments from my classes collectively a week. Just because I get lazy. I have a lack of motivation sometimes, especially like in the month of September. School was just kind of on the back burner. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, there was too much going on. But now I'm kind of getting back into the groove of things, and I'm trying to be scholarly and not fail classes this semester. So yeah, keep me in your prayers. It's been a struggle so far. Next, my favorite thing this week. I don't know if I want to do weekly favorites. I don't know if I want to incorporate that into season 3. Let me know if you might want to hear that. But I decided to share something this week. My favorite thing of the week, my favorite product, is my Vampire Blood Pocket Pack from Bath & Body Works. Y'all, I don't know what it is. It's just every time I look at it, it gives me a boost of serotonin. I don't even have to use it. I just have to look at it. I just have to know that it's in my possession. Yes, that it's in my possession. And I'm just like, it's fall. Halloween is approaching. I am living my best life as a fall girly. I love it. I love it. I love the smell of it. I never used to get it in like elementary school, but I would get like other little fall scents and stuff like that. But I got Vampire Blood this year because I was feeling vampy, okay? And it's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. I even posted a little TikTok comparing like the old pocket pack packaging, if you know, you know, to the new packaging, because I high-key missed the old ones. Like, I just loved how much smaller and like more portable the old ones were. I feel like the new ones are like a little bit bulky and annoying now, if you ask me, but nobody asked me, so I'm just sharing. Lastly, my last high for this week is I am teaching myself guitar. Yes, ma'am. I am teaching myself electric guitar. It's been interesting so far. Pretty much every day or every other day, I've taken like 30 minutes to watch a new YouTube video and to try and like teach myself different parts of the guitar, teach myself different chords and like how I feel more comfortable like holding it and stuff like that. Honestly, I mostly felt interested in guitar, just like being inspired by the downtown girl aesthetic. Y'all have seen that, I'm sure. And like the girls with the guitars hanging on their wall in their room. And I'm just like, yo, playing guitar could kind of be sick. Like, I've been wanting to pick up an instrument for a while. I tried piano a few years ago and I didn't really like it all that much. But guitar, it does give me that boost of serotonin that I've been looking for. And it like gives me something else to accomplish that's not related to like social media or school or work. You know, it's just something for me, literally only for me, nobody else, which I absolutely love and adore. So, you know, if you're bored and you need to pick up an extra hobby and you need something to give you that like extra confidence and boost in yourself, then I 100% recommend picking up an instrument. Okay. So last little part of this, because I'm trying not to run too long. Sometimes I just chit-chat too much during this section of the episodes. Okay. My goals for this week, I have 2 goals. One is to post on YouTube. I have been avoiding this like the plague. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I don't want to post on YouTube. Ever since I hit 500 subscribers, I was supposed to do a 500 subscriber giveaway, and I bought the Starbucks gift card for it, and I haven't finished editing the video and posting it. I don't know what's going on. I've just been so uninspired and like thrown off, just completely thrown off. But I'm gonna try and get the video out by the end of the week. Hopefully me having this little break from the podcast will give me a little bit extra time and energy to give to my YouTube channel. We'll see. I don't know. Pending. Next goal is for me to buy some fresh fruits and veggies and plan out some meals and treats that I want to try making, because I do have that list from my fall bucket list episode that you might want to go and listen to if you haven't already. I have that list of foods and stuff that I want to make and that I want to try, and I just haven't. I haven't made anything yet for fall this year, and I love fall foods. So we got to get on that. We got to go to the grocery store, Trader Joe's, get it together, okay, and get this diet back right. So now we're finally gonna get into the thick of the episode, which is the cute and fun and like slightly girly, slightly coquette, slightly Pinteresty jobs that you might want to look for in your area and go for. So yeah, let's get into it. First off, I would like to say these jobs are for someone like me. Someone who values having free time, interacting with people often, not having too much mental strain, having less constrictive rules and procedures on a day-to-day, a kind of warm, cozy type of work environment, a overall free-spirited person, who wants good pay for what they do. That's kind of what these are for. I kind of picked jobs that you don't have to have a degree for because I don't have like a bachelor's degree or anything yet, and that you could work part-time if you're like in high school or in college, because the economy, has been absolute shit lately. It has. The United States economy has been horrible. Prices are just too high. Everything is higher. So if you're looking for a fun and easy job, so then you can make a little bit of extra money, I feel you, girl. I got you. People don't talk about how hard it is to find a part-time job that you actually enjoy and that like suits you as a human being. I feel like people are just like, go get a job, and then you go get a job somewhere that you hate and that you like dread going to just for the sake of having a part-time job, and having extra money. And like, I'm here to tell you that you do not have to like sit there and take that crap and struggle with having a horrible work environment and horrible managers and all of that. Like, there's always a way out. There's always other places for you to work. You just have to really like put your best foot forward and look for places that interest you specifically. So yeah, these are mostly jobs that you can like go out and get, not really entrepreneurial types of jobs. Like, I'm not here to tell you, start a YouTube channel, start selling on Depop. Like, all of those things could be great, but for me personally, I need a little bit more structure in my life than that, and I need somewhere that I am gonna like go into, clock in, clock out, go home, that type of thing. So yeah. And starting a YouTube channel, let me tell you, is not all it's cut out to be. Take it from me. Someone who is struggling with starting a YouTube channel. But hey, if you want to support, it's always linked below, okay? Anyways, yeah, these are all things that I have either done or could see myself doing. And of course, do your own research on what positions kind of interest you, because there are certain licensing and laws for like local places and requirements that you may need to meet before starting some of these jobs. So yeah, I'm not going to get into all of that because I don't know what your local laws are like. Everywhere is different. But without further ado, I'm going to get into my job history a little bit so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from with this. So my first job was as a city hall clerk. This was a little summer program. I was a junior, an incoming junior in high school. So it pretty much consisted of me going to work at 8 a.m. every day of the summer, filing paperwork, and honestly listening to the Breakfast Club interviews and watching The Office religiously while I was working. So it wasn't too hard a job, and everybody was nice. People were mostly like older, so not really teenagers. So it was cool, Then my next job, I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese for a few weeks and then I quit because it got to be a lot. So there was so much cleaning involved. This is the job that I've probably cleaned at the most. I had to clean the bathrooms. I had to clean the floors. I had to vacuum the floors. I had to clean the tables. I had to clean all the surfaces. It was a lot. It was a lot. And then on top of that, I was jumping into the Chucky suit pretty much every 5 freaking minutes. But that part was like kind of the funnest part. I know funnest isn't a word, but that was like the most fun part of the job, being praised and glorified by 5-year-olds and their parents. It was nice, they all run up to you and they're hugging you a million times and they're like, I love you, Chucky. And you're just like nodding your head in the suit because you can't talk. But that was an experience. My next job was called Peter Piper Pizza. This isn't super well known nationally, I come to realize. But Chuck E. Cheese pretty much bought them out before they went bankrupt and closed my location. But anyways, this was my first cashier position. So I learned how to use a cash register, how to use a point of sale system, that's a POS system. And it really like brought me out of my shell and helped me be myself a little bit more and like be comfortable with being myself around strangers. So that was cool. Next job, I was working a remote marketing internship. Y'all are probably like, damn, how many jobs has this girl had? A lot, okay? A lot. So I was working at home on the computer. My company sent me a computer and like all the equipment and stuff that I needed. And this taught me how to work in a professional setting and how to work like agency life. Agency life is your typical office job, pretty much, You've got that like office lingo going on. You've got those like office-y types of relationships, even when you're working remote. But it really taught me like how to communicate and how to like stay on top of things and pace myself, especially working from home. Didn't always work out in my favor, but I learned a lot from it. My next job was an in-person marketing internship. This is your typical office experience, almost just like the show, You have your office parties, you have your work friends, you maximize your lunch hour not only by eating but also taking a nap in your car. You put a lot of effort into your work and you're sacrificing a lot of time and freedom because of the hours. It's a 9 to 5. I actually was working 9 to 6 o'clock, if you all remember from some of my past episodes. And just the mental strain was a lot for me, and sitting at the computer all day and not really talking to people all day was a lot for me. And yeah, it just started to wear on me. So I had to go. So my final job for right now is the coffee shop job. It's one of my personal favorites, I don't have to put much thought into it. Just follow the recipes, smile, take orders. It keeps me active. I like being able to like move around a little bit. And that like really reduces my anxiety. I feel like I still do get like a little bit of anxiety because obviously it can get a little bit stressful with taking orders and stuff like that, but it's nothing like the office job where it's like pent up anxiety that I can't release somehow, At least at the coffee shop, I can move around and like release some of that nervous energy a little bit and like breathe in between. But at the office, it's kind of just like you're pent up all day. Like it's just constant, like sitting anxiety just filling you up, So yeah, now I'm considering being a front desk person at a beachfront hotel near me. I will update you all on how that goes sometime in the near future. Probably in season 3, I'll be well into that job and really be able to talk about it. But yeah, I never saw myself working front desk at a hotel. Like I didn't even consider that a job that I could do. But believe it or not, you can. So now I'm going to actually tell you guys different jobs that you might want to be, on the lookout for. First off, coffee barista. You can try and go for more local small shops. That's what I highly recommend instead of like corporate, Starbucks, Dunkin', because I think the customers are nicer at smaller businesses. 2, the tips are better. And overall, you just get better treatment from staff and managers and stuff like that. Because for the most part, everyone's like kind of happy to be there. It's not like everyone's just like, oh, this is such a drag. I'm at work. I'm at Starbucks. I'm at Dunkin'. I have the worst customers in the world. Blah, blah, blah. Like it's a nicer type of experience. The ambiance is a little bit more chill than those other shops most of the time. I mean, obviously you're going to have your rushes, but I don't know. Like, in my personal opinion, I would definitely not want to work at Starbucks. I wanted to work at Starbucks before, but like now that I've experienced a smaller Black-owned coffee shop, I don't know. It's just like a vibe. It's a lot more comfortable for me. So yeah, if you're looking for a barista job, I would recommend like something smaller, something that's like more family owned, more family based, and Black owned, okay? I'm telling you, it's kind of where it's at for me right now. It's kind of where it's at. So yeah, alternatives to being a coffee barista, if you don't like love coffee or whatever, because I get free coffee while I'm at work. It's amazing. I love it. If that's not really your thing, you can instead go for like a smoothie shop job. You could work making smoothies and making smoothie bowls and stuff like that, or a boba shop, or like a tea shop or something like that. Just change the beverage, and it's pretty much the same job. I feel like all the way around. Coffee barista, smoothie maker, boba tea maker. You're putting ingredients together, serving it to people as they like it, getting tips. Yeah. So next is kind of along the same lines. You could be a bartender. Obviously, if you're of age, not drinking age, but serving age. I believe in the United States, you only have to be 18 to be a bartender. So yeah, if you have a good amount of knowledge and experience with mixology and or baristaing, or you take like a mixology course or something like that, bartending tips like really freaking well. And I wish somebody would have told me that a long time ago, okay? I'm just finding that out this year. Bartending is like kind of where it's at if you're young, if you need to get quick money, if you need a part-time job, and if you don't mind working like to serve people, especially if you're a woman. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, if you're a woman, it's a real good profession. I'm just telling you, okay? And it doesn't have to be like the busiest bars ever, the grungiest little holes in the wall, You can find like really like upscale, classy bars to work at. You could work at a hotel bar. You could work for a catering company if you don't mind like being a traveling bartender. You can work at a casino, a country club. It doesn't have to be like the super grimy, grungy, gross bars with like the really weird, stinky men. You can find somewhere that's like nicer, more comfortable, and probably get better tips at the more high class places, which is what I've heard, than working somewhere that's busier. Because it's kind of like, if you work somewhere that's busy, sure, you'll get a good amount of tips, but you're making more drinks and you're doing more work for like the same amount of tips you would get working somewhere higher class, like a hotel, and making like less drinks. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can make 4 margaritas and get the same amount of tips from a hotel than you would making 4 margaritas somewhere else. Do you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, okay? Y'all are smart. I believe that. Y'all are smart. So next, you can do like, how do I describe this? You can work at a store that is along with your interest. For example, you can be a bookshop clerk. You can be a gaming store clerk like GameStop if you're into gaming. You can be a music store clerk selling guitars and stuff like that if you're into that. You can work in an antique store. You can work in a record shop. You can work in a smoke shop if you're of age. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a special interest area or something that you really like are passionate about or something that you have a lot of knowledge on, find smaller businesses around you that cater to people with the same interest. I noticed that, like, I come across so many like little record stores and stuff like that are hiring and need help, but people don't like realize that those places are there, and people don't realize that those opportunities are there. So I want to tell you, don't just find somewhere like corporate and boring where you'll have freaking annoying customers, like Walmart or Target. Find somewhere that's like smaller and caters more to an interest group that you like. So yeah, next up, you could be a server. This kind of goes along with the whole bartending barista thing. Kind of self-explanatory. You could be a baker. If you're already good at baking and you're looking for something you can work overnight instead of in the daytime, according to whatever schedule you have, and you don't want to engage with customers on a day-to-day, you can just find a local bakery or coffee shop or something like that, because, coffee shops usually have like fresh baked goods. So you can find one of those. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to work overnight. And yeah, you go in with the rest of the cooks and bakers, you make your stuff, and then you go home. I personally wouldn't do that right now in my life, as much as I do enjoy baking just because of the overnight aspect of it, but it's definitely something I'm going to keep like on my mind, Next up, you can work at a farm. You could be a stable hand. I know. This is not for everyone. Not everybody loves, working with animals and getting dirty and touching poop and all of that stuff. But me personally, I don't mind. I have volunteered at a farm before, and it was a lot of fun. And they're always looking for help. They're always looking for help, because a lot of young people like really aren't into things like that, especially in more like city like places, if that makes any sense. So you might have to drive a little bit if you live like in a city to go to a farm, but look up local farms around you, look up local stables. A lot of places around me have horses because they do horse therapy for like special needs kids and stuff like that. So if you could get a job doing something like that, that could be really fun for you, if you don't mind working with kids and stuff. So yeah, definitely look up farms, like if you like horses and you like farm animals, obviously. Kind of going hand in hand with this is like being a dog sitter and a dog walker. Pretty self-explanatory. And then the next thing I have is being a retail store photographer. This is very slept on. But if you're into photography and you don't want to try and like start your own photography business or like work with a freelance photographer, and you want something that's a little bit more like, structured and stable, I actually have a friend had a friend. We're not that close anymore, but it's fine. I had a friend who worked at like a baby store photography place. So this baby store is like a huge retail store. They have a little photography studio in the inside, obviously, so babies can get their pictures taken for their first birthday and Christmas and whatever, And she worked there. And she worked there part-time. So you can do something similar. I know JCPenney has little photo studios most of the time, or you could find a photo studio near you that might be hiring that isn't in a retail store. But I heard it's like sometimes easier to get into the retail store photography studios and stuff like that than it is like just a studio, if that makes sense. My brain is flopping right now. So yeah. Next, you can be a writer for a blog or a small business or something of the sort. Have someone hire you. You don't have to go like full on freelance mode when you've got like 8 different clients that you're writing for. You can literally just like apply online to write for a specific blog that you might be interested in writing for, or contact a small business and, ask them if they need help planning their social media or like writing out their social media posts and stuff like that. Yeah, easy as that. Next, you can be a community event planner or promoter. So there's definitely more to this because there's like permitting and liabilities and legal stuff. But if you're passionate about bringing people together, you can get into planning events at your local library or like just anywhere like within your local community, just to keep it kind of like small and more manageable for you. Next, you can be a community artist or painter. Cities are often looking for artists to paint different walls and make different statues and art pieces to put throughout the city to beautify the city because, they don't want it to look plain. They want it to look inviting so then people can want to live there and they pay. Actually, like last year when I was at a park in my city, someone walked up to me and they were like, hey, I'm from the city. I'm looking for artists who might be interested in painting this certain wall on this certain street or something and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, if you're an artist, if you're into painting and stuff like that, you should totally look into that. Okay, next, you can be a flight attendant. Obviously, you have to be a certain age to be a flight attendant. Yeah. You have to be a certain age to be a flight attendant. Same thing with being a train attendant. But if you are 18, I believe you can be both of those without a degree. You probably have to go through some kind of training and certification process for both of those. But especially being a train attendant, I think that would be really freaking cool. Like, it's a lot more chill than being a flight attendant, 180%, because people take planes more than they take trains most of the time. But yeah, just like, I don't know, chilling out, vibing on a train, handing out snacks, helping people with their bags, doesn't sound like too bad of a little gig for me, especially if you get to travel and you like to travel. So yeah, keep that top of mind. If you're into like crocheting or sewing or knitting, you can work as a seamstress or you can work underneath a seamstress. There are plenty of people who have little seamstress shops or even like dry cleaners, local dry cleaners who need seamstresses and people who are good at sewing and stuff like that and like reliable. And if that's your thing, if you just like to sit down and sew and knit and like that brings you peace and that brings you calm, you can get paid for that. Okay. Don't sleep on your talents. Okay. Don't sleep on your talents. If you want to keep it as a hobby, I get it 100%. There are some hobbies that just need to be hours. But at the same time, if it's something that you really love and you don't think that you'd like get sick of it super easily, go for it. Get paid for it, honey. Next, you can be a local park attendant or a ranger. So if you love the outdoors, driving around on a little golf cart, making sure that the park is clean, making sure that people are doing the right thing in the park, I think that would be a really cool job, doing whatever paperwork and stuff you have to do for a park that's near you. I know at least down here, there are like some parks that are too small to have park attendants and stuff like that. But then there are much larger parks. And even if you have like a national park near you, you could probably work there. So yeah, if you're into the outdoors. Next, you can be a recreational instructor at a small studio or a city civic center or a senior community or something like that. You can teach like dance, yoga, art. You can teach information technology like computers and phones, which isn't hard for us because we know how to work computers and phones. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like especially senior centers, they're always senior centers and like senior communities, like I don't know, living in Florida, we have plenty of 65 and older living communities. They're always looking for some like young people to come in and do different events and like weekly or monthly activities and stuff like that. And And it's really freaking easy. You just have to hang out with some older folks and yeah. So if you're interested in like being a teacher or something like that, I definitely recommend something like that. You can, suddenly I can't speak. You can be a florist. Yes, you can work at a flower shop or a plant nursery. Again, I feel like this is a lot like the farming job. They're always looking for help. They're always looking for people who are consistent and really passionate about like flowers and stuff like that. And nurseries, trust me, I know, like, I go to these places, I frequent these places because I like plants and flowers and stuff, and they're always just like, you know, we need some help if you're interested, or like, we're hiring, blah, 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 you know, but I'm not really interested in working that 100% right now myself, but like maybe sometime in the future. But if you're into that type of stuff, you can look for a job like that. Next, a tattoo artist. Obviously, you have to be extremely qualified for this. You have to, you know a little bit about tattoos and be able to draw and stuff like that. But, yeah, I feel like tattoo artists are kind of like, nail technicians in a way, you know. It's kind of like they come and go type of thing in most shops, and they're not always the most consistent. So it should be easy for you to find a tattoo artist job, at least I think. I don't know. Next, you can work in a museum. I believe you do have to have a degree to work in most museums, like full-time, but part-time you could still be like a receptionist or some kind of like assistant or something like that. So just like look around your local museums and, you know, see if they have any positions open. I remember there was like a little art museum, a city art museum nearby, that was like asking for receptionists, you know, asking for receptionists to apply. And working in a museum is super freaking chill. At least it looks super freaking chill. You know, it looks like you just sit there and you sign people in and you sign people out and you clean and you take money, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the museum kind of runs itself for the most part. You don't have to do much. So yeah. Next, you can work for a picnic or a party company. If you're into like event planning and setting things up and taking things down and that's your thing, go for it. You can work at a hotel. There are 100 jobs you can do at a hotel part-time, which I did not realize. You could be a spa receptionist. You could be a front desk person. You could work concierge. You could work at one of the restaurants or like little gift shops that they have in the hotel. There's a plethora of things to do. You could obviously do like housekeeping, but you know, I wouldn't recommend that. It seems like a tough job, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, look at like local hotels near you. There are always gonna be people staying in a hotel. I feel like hotels will never really go out of business. You know, there's always a need for people working at hotels. So look into that. Finally, in this little section, you can work at a golf course or a country club. I feel like this is kind of similar to the hotel thing. It's just obviously people aren't staying overnight. So you can do front desk, spa, some kind of concierge service. You could do valet if you're into driving cars like that. You can sell snacks and drinks. You can do like, what do they call it? Concessions at the golf course. And I saw this girl on TikTok. She worked at a golf course doing concessions, and they let her drive around on a golf cart and sell different snacks and drinks to the golfers on the course, and then she would get like huge tips from the golfers. So, you know, think about that. Go where the money's at, y'all. Go where the money's at. Go to the country clubs. Get your tips. Collect them tips. Okay, tip-based jobs are, I feel like, the best types of jobs for younger people because we really need to maximize our time. You know, we have a lot going on. We're either in school or We've got things that we're trying to do. We've got our hobbies. We've got our social media. We have a lot going on. We don't have time to be sitting at a job for 8 hours getting a flat rate pay and, nothing else for the most part, especially when we're not getting paid well or when we're not getting paid above minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? So definitely look for tip-based jobs and look for tip-based jobs in good areas, okay? The wealthy, the rich areas, you know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna make you work as freaking hard, and you're gonna get higher tips per customer instead of more customers, lower tips, like I said earlier. And then this last little section is, if you like working with kids, I have 3 jobs for you. For my kid lovers. That's not just babysitting, because babysitting, everybody knows about that. You can work at Build-A-Bear Workshop, because I had a friend that worked at Build-A-Bear Workshop. She freaking loved it. She adored it. You stock the bears, you talk to the kids, you fill up the bear with the stuffing and do the little heart thing and do the whole show, and kids freaking eat it up and you make kids' day. I would love to work at Build-A-Bear Workshop one day. That would be such a cute job. I think I would really enjoy it. So yeah. Next you can work at Claire's. This isn't a super kids based thing, but it kind of is, you know what I'm saying? But then again, some of the Claire's are going out of business, and you see Claire's in a Walmart, and Claire's is in trouble, y'all. Claire's is in trouble. But anyway, you could work there, especially if you like glitter and sparkles and fashion and accessories and talking to little girls, and it's a vibe. And then you can also become like a piercer, kind of, through working at Claire's, because you have to learn how to pierce people's ears, because they pierce ears there. So yeah, if you're looking to get into piercing, maybe that could help your resume a little bit. I don't know. Lastly, you can be an aftercare counselor or a tutor at a school or tutoring center. I know a couple of people in high school who did this. They would be after school tutors. So whenever they got out of school, they would go to the tutoring centers and tutor kids and get paid really well. Or, being an aftercare counselor, obviously you'd have to go to an elementary school or anywhere that really has an aftercare program. And then, it's like a job that you can do a little bit later in the day, generally around 1 or 2 o'clock until 5 or 6. So you're not getting the most amount of hours, but I don't know if those hours work for you, you can go for it. And if you like kids and if you are CPR certified, could be something that works out for you. So that is all of my jobs. I'm tired now. Did I say I was going to wash my hair after this? I think I might go to sleep. But these are all of my jobs that you can work in your teens and in your 20s, that you may not have thought of before. I hope these gave you some ideas. If they did, send them to a friend. Your friend might be trying to find a job right now and might need a cute little list to help them out. So yeah, I am so sad to say a little temporary goodbye right now for 4 weeks, but I will see you all at the beginning of November, okay? I will be probably in full-on Christmas mode. I'm not gonna lie to you. So that's probably gonna be it for the fall content. I hope you guys enjoyed the little bit that I did put out. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon. Again, don't forget to rate and review on Apple and Spotify, and follow the socials to keep up with me. I keep up with you, you keep up with me, we keep up together. We don't be strangers. Don't ever be a stranger is what I always say. I love you all. Take care of yourself. Wear your mask so you don't get COVID like me. And bye.